Hello and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Now, today we're going to be talking about a few hot topics within the Rangers Society at the moment. First thing foremost, we're going to be talking about Rob Keenan and his move to Southend. And then we're going to try out a different idea as well after we've talked about a few topics. So, Blair, first and foremost, Rob Keenan has finally left Rangers. How does that make you feel?
Relieved, in a sense. I don't know. It's kind of hard to gauge now because he's not played for so long. You kind of forget how bad he was at times. The thing that sort of caught me by surprise was looking online through Twitter and also Facebook that absolutely, I can't even describe the sort of reaction that the fans had to him leaving. So really, I don't know. It's just,
I see what you're saying there. You're saying that some of the fans ripped in a bit too hard for him.
It didn't seem very Rangers-like, the way that some of the fans, I mean, obviously he had bad times in a Rangers shirt, but he still tried his best. You know, I just found it very strange.
I completely see what you're saying. Rob Keenan was someone who did give, a lot of his percentage. I wouldn't always say 100%, but there were a couple of games where he did. I don't feel like he was a player who had a bad attitude as such, and I don't feel like he was a player who, meant to really let the team down, like I think Philip Senderos might have done. I just think that Rob Keenan was a bit unfortunate. Unfortunately, he was our scapegoat, but the only reason why he was a scapegoat is because he was, for me personally, the worst defender in the team. However, some people did argue, and I saw this on social media. Of course, what I'm doing here is I'm putting fans' opinions across. So one fan did argue. He put forward a rather good point quite well. He said that he thought the best pairing in defence was Clint Hill and Robbie Keenan last season. What are your thoughts on that?
I think Clint Hill did a lot of the job that Rob Keenan should have done. Obviously, having that experienced man beside you, it helps a lot, as you've seen with Bruno Alves this season already. And the season even kicked off yet. I think when you had Wilson and Keenan in defence, they were both lacking that experienced head beside them, such as a Clint Hill. And you sort of seen that Keenan was the worst defender of the two of them. But as I said, Hill and Keenan together, they were good. They were good, but they weren't good enough. And yeah. I think Hill did most of the job for Keenan, especially in the games that I've seen them. And I don't think Keenan was good enough anyway.
Seeing that Rob Keenan played well next to a strong Clint Hill, would that not therefore mean that next to the likes of Bruno Alves, Rob Keenan could have perhaps thrived and then become maybe a great defender for Rangers?
Well, no, I don't think it's that simple. You don't just become a great defender over the course of pre-season, but I think because his card was already marked by towards the end of last season. I think when Kaishina came in, he looked at the likes of Forrester, Kiernan, and a few other players, and just thought, you could obviously see it right away that they weren't good enough to be a part of the team. Which is then, if the new manager decides that right away, you could play great in every reserve game and he won't probably look at you twice because that's your card done and he's probably just made up his mind.
That's again a fair point. One thing that I will say is Rob Keenan's career at Rangers was just like the candle behind you, actually. You know, sort of big candle, but the flame was very, very dim.
Candle? I blame the girlfriend.
You blame the girlfriend for that candle, do you?
I can't blame the girlfriend for all the candles.
One thing that we haven't mentioned is the fact that Rob Keenan, of course, went to Southend, and it was for an undisclosed fee. Now, there were some reactions on Facebook and Twitter and social media in general, which were quite funny, saying that it was a taxi fare that the fee was, and that we paid them to take him. But realistically, how much do you think Rob Keenan could have been sold for?
Well, at the time when Rangers bought him, he was part of the deal with Martin Waghorn from Wigan. They were both sold, so they were obviously. So Martin Waghorn must have been a lot more. So my thinking should be around, I would say at most 250,000.
You say around 250,000?
Yeah, at most.
That's fair enough. And I think if we did sell him for that amount, I think that's great business done by Mr. Kaiser.
I mean, what is Southend, a League One side, right?
You're asking the wrong person. Know nothing about below Premier League.
I think they are. I don't think Rob Keenan will go in the lower in League Two or League One. But I think if he gets settled in to that team and gets a good couple of games under him before the season kicks off down there, because I think it starts later in England, doesn't it, compared to Scotland? So a week or two later. He could become a good player in that league. He could become. I mean, Mark Crooks went on loan to League One as well, and he done not too bad and got a few suitors from him. He's obviously at his Northampton, so good couple of games, and could be back on his feet and have a new club to start the season with.
So on the whole, what I'll sum up Rob Keenan as is I'll think what I'm going to say is I think that he was mistreated. He was abused by some Rangers fans at one point in time. He did give us all in most of his games, and he played fantastically well in the semi-final against Celtic. Was probably our standout defender that game. It's just one game isn't enough, and you can't be sentimental when it comes to football. Rob Keenan was definitely the scapegoat amongst the fans, but sometimes that needs to be the case. But I do think that he got too much abuse, and I don't really like it when fans turn on their own. But then again, you will get banter from fans, and sometimes that banter can be taken too far. So in general, I'm going to say the best of luck to Rob Keenan and wish him the very best in his future endeavours in his career. But one last question about that is, do you think that his career, that we might have ruined his career?
I don't think we ruined it. I think that Rangers offered him a platform where it was like now or never. Like, you're either going to become a player who will make a decent living at a decent level and get the recognition to then relaunch your career from what it was, or it's going to go absolutely horribly wrong and you're going to end up back to square one again. And I think it's probably the latter that's what's happened. Where it's a bad thing, at least he's had that chance and he hasn't taken it, which is quite unfortunate. But let's just hope for his sake that it doesn't completely end his career in terms of being able to, find a stable club, because before Rangers, he was bouncing all around the place. So hopefully Southend will be a stable employer for the next few years, and there's no loans to other clubs or getting sold on or released or whatever, and he gets a stable centre-back position.
Let's make no mistake, for those that are watching, the two of us, we do wish Rob Keenan the very best in his future.